Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Yeah, today is the second day of the new year, and it's not starting off good for the Dallas Cowboys. We've learned that it looks like Michael Gallop has a torn ACL. His season is done, and you hate that to happen for a guy who was headed for free agency. I guess in some regards, when you look at this, it's bad news for being a free agent trying to get on with another team. You definitely have hurt your market value, but you have to give him, well, I'll come back to Michael Gallop. I tell you what's crazy. Miss Jackie sent me a text message this morning. She said it was 18 degrees in Dallas with a -2 wind chill. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because here on the East Coast, it was like 65 degrees yesterday. And I looked at my temperature at home, and it was like 50 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning. In fact, it was 65 degrees today. I just took David Wiley home, and it was 50 degrees when I left my house. By the time I got back, it was 44 degrees. And I can hear the wind is beginning to pick up. What's crazy is they say about 3 o'clock tonight, it's going to start raining and turning into snow. And they're calling for 1 to 3 inches of snow tonight, with an additional 3 to 5 inches tomorrow. That's crazy. 65 degrees one day, tomorrow night will be in the teens, with somewhere around 4 to 8 inches of snow. I might stay awake just to see that one. I might just, or at least get up at 3 and see, is it actually snowing? I don't believe that's going to happen, but then again, it is Washington, D.C. I remember growing up one year, I think it was my senior year in high school. I was supposed to get my wisdom tooth taken out. And I remember waking up and opening up the shade, and the snow drift had went up over the window, and you couldn't get out of the house for literally 5 days, and my tooth was impacted and had to get it taken out as soon as we could get there. And that happened to be the same day that we had regionals for indoor track, but be that as it may. So the Dallas Cowboys, last week, the skies were sunny and warm. This week, the sky's falling, just like the temperature is dropping right now. In fact, when I get finished with this, I'm gonna grab some more wood and put it up on the deck just in case it gets really bad tomorrow night. They always say in Washington, D.C., if you don't like the weather, wait 24 hours because it'll change. And as bad as this game was, it's hard to do game balls because it was, to me, I know the haters out there and people that are fed up and talking trash about the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott and the team and the coaching and everything else, get rid of Kellen Moore, the play calling, everything. In my mind, and you can call me an idiot, I don't care. But I look around, and it's hard for me to point to a lot of things and say, they really did enough to win the game. See, last week, we had all phases of the game play really well. We had our punt team block a punt, get a touchdown. We have our defense that was getting takeaways and getting stops. We had our offense scoring at will. Today, we had our kicker missing his 6th field goal of the season. It sucks. Had he made that field goal, maybe the score's tied and we go to overtime. Well, this is not the first one of those games that we've had one of those situations. And I know Dak haters are going to say, you're just making excuses. Well, you know what? If you don't want to hear my excuses, my reasoning or whatever, please just go elsewhere. Just go elsewhere. Okay? But these are all things that happen. Dak missed passes. I ain't going to lie. Dak missed passes. A couple times he seemed indecisive. But, he wasn't the only one that had a bad game. We have Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard, and collectively we had 12 rushes for 25 yards. Dak, running for his life, got 22. Now, granted, he did get the ball punched out, which was the only turnover of the game. The only turnover. The thing that killed us more than anything else, though, again, special teams, was the fake punt. The fake punt where they got a big first down. That was really the difference in the game. You can say what you want, just spell my name right. But missing a field goal and giving up the big play on the block, on the fake punt, were the two things more than anything else that killed us. The Cardinals have a good defense. They did start the season out like 7-0, 8-0, or whatever it was. They do have players. Kyler Murray was an MVP candidate. So you can't look and say that we were playing, say, the Washington Covids or the New York Jets or the Jacksonville Jaguars. You were playing a team that is a playoff team. And mind you, I wanted to get this win and get this out of the way, because losing this game has pretty much sealed up the Cowboys looking like we'll probably play the Cardinals in the first round of the playoffs. A rematch. We went from being the number 2 seed to pretty much being locked in at the number 4. But I'm going to turn this around here, because I think it was Kathy Stearns, maybe, who said this? Or was it Tammy? Somebody said this. And this is key. With Dak Prescott out of the lineup last year, we were 4-8. 4 wins without Dak and 8 losses. We sucked. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We sucked. Washington won the division. When I sat out here before the season started and they said, "What is your prediction?" I said, I think the Cowboys will go 11-6, maybe 12-5. Right now, we're 11-5. It looks like I'm kind of spot on there. The thing about this team is this team has been streaky. They end up winning games, boom, boom, boom. Then they lose some. Then they win games, boom, 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 boom. 6-game win streak, 4-game lose streak. Maybe we're about to start another win streak. I'm not ready to give up on this one. In fact, I'm hoping that this game, because, we had some players that were there on the sidelines in Alabama and stuff. I don't know what the rest of the team did. Maybe they didn't take the Cardinals serious. Maybe they looked at it and said, this is a team that's lost 4 games in a row. It was just bad all the way around. It didn't seem like anybody on the defense was really raising any hell other than number 11. So when I go to my game balls in a loss, I have to give a game ball to Michael Gallop. Because Michael Gallop, who tore his ACL, got us on the board, sacrificing his body and tearing his ACL, but yet holding on to the football. The tenacity that he showed there. The will to give everything. Bro, you got a game ball. On the other side of the fence, the only other person I can look out there and say, you get a game ball. Now, the Cowboys did fight to get back into the game. They did make some plays. Dak ended up with 3 touchdown passes. Right now in the season, he's got 32 to 10 interceptions. Not exactly chump change. That's a great season. In fact, more touchdown passes than he's had in any other season, and we still have a game to go. But he's not getting a game ball. He had some plays where he missed plays left and right. We had receivers that dropped the ball. We had offensive linemen and way too many penalties. We had blame that can go around. If anything, it would be like, I'm taking footballs away from some of you guys as opposed to giving game balls. But it seemed like at some points in that game that it was like Micah Parsons was the only one out there really balling on the defense. Micah Parsons was getting held left and right. Let me be clear, they came up with a great game plan and they executed it well. And they learned, run away from Micah Parsons. They would do, Kyler Murray is go, look, Micah Parsons over there, we're going over here. And they devised ways to beat the Cowboys. Barely. But Micah Parsons, he's got to get a game ball. Now tomorrow, we know that the trolls are going to be going crazy because now the Eagle fans believe, oh my God, we got to win, Cowboys lost. Well, not all wins and all losses are the same. Washington is on a 4-game lose streak and they're decimated. And yet, it went down to the wire on whether or not the Eagles are going to win. Eagles, as much as you say, we're scared, we ain't scared of you. And at this point, it doesn't look like you're going to have to get past the first round before we'd even think about playing each other. The Cardinals are still a good team. They've had some clunkers, but they got it together when it counted. And FYI, that team has not lost a game on the road. The final part on this, and you can say it's an excuse if you want to, and I'm fine with that. This is the same crew that we had when we played the Raiders. And Mike McCarthy basically told the team, this is the same officials we had the last go round. And you're going to have to be careful. And I believe that knowing that the Dallas Cowboys played tentative, and they still had 10 penalties called against them. So at some points, it's the Cowboys not just playing against the other team. It's playing against the other team and the officials. Now, I'm sure the trolls are going to be living on this channel, and that's cool. That's cool. The fair weather trolls, because when y'all were losing, we couldn't find your ass. But that's okay. I'm all right with that. One more week to the regular season, and then it's for reals. Good night, everybody. Sleep tight. Be safe. And if you're getting hit by this weather that's coming through, if you're going out driving, be careful out there. All right. God willing, I'll see you in the morning.